Hey, Gateway Youth and Friends! We just have another quick video here for Ask Adam Anything. The second question I'm looking at today is, can I wait till later in my life to get serious about being a Christian? Can I wait till later in my life to become a good Christian? And so this is a really great question, and it's a challenge to struggle with as a young person. And it's a challenge even as an adult that people want to struggle with. Because at the heart of this question is an indication, one, that there is a disconnect between the goodness of God and the goodness of what the world offers, or what I think the world offers me. And so I kind of want to walk through this and give you some encouragements and maybe some conviction and challenges to address that question of, can I just wait till later to take Christianity seriously? Well, I want to start just with telling that you guys that if you're asking that question, at the heart of that question, to use an analogy, is, if you've been waiting all day for Thanksgiving dinner, like it's Thanksgiving, you cannot wait, and maybe like me, you're like starving yourself all day, so you have room for all the amazing Thanksgiving food you're about to eat, and the amazing spread is put out before you. It's time to eat. It's time. You've been waiting all day for this Thanksgiving meal, and then if someone said, you know what, can we just wait till later to eat this feast? Like, if you're like me, you would probably stab them with the butter knife, because no, the amazing meal is right here. I'm going to partake in it. I don't want to wait anymore. I want that which is fantastic. I'm not going to wait any longer. When we ask the question, can I wait till later to take Christianity seriously? The heart of the question is, you're missing what it is that the gospel of Jesus Christ has offered you. It's not just a bunch of rules or get out of hell free card, but it is what Christ has said, is to have life and life to the full. If you don't understand or grasp the beauty of what it means to be in a relationship with Jesus Christ, the fulfillment, the peace, the hope that is possible, you're missing out on something significant. And I want to challenge you that if you're asking that question, you might not get who Jesus really is. And you might not get what he really is offering you, that you want to wait. A couple other thoughts in that is, when you're asking that, you're also indicating that you have an attraction to sin. Because, that's ultimately it. Is like, if I become a Christian or I take Christianity seriously, I know that I have to stop messing around with my boyfriend or girlfriend. I know that maybe I can't, there's a certain behavior or things that I've been watching that I can't watch anymore. And maybe it's something like pornography, and you're like, I know that if I'm going to be serious about Christianity, I have to confess this sin and get help, and I'm not ready to do that. So maybe God, bring me conviction later. That what we're saying is that there's some sort of sin in my life that I'm not willing to give up. Like, yes, I want Jesus, I want everything he has to offer, I want eternity in heaven, but I really, really like my sin right now, so please don't ask me to give it up. That's a heart condition that I would challenge you, that says you don't really want Jesus in the first place. You just want things that you think maybe Jesus could offer you, like getting out of hell. If you don't really have a heart and a passion to say Jesus above all, I'm willing to put everything else down, that means you have it's an indication that you have idols in your heart. There's an idolatry in your life that you care about more than God. And if you can't care more about God now, there's no guarantee, and it's probably not going to happen, that suddenly one day there's going to be this, like you're just going to decide, okay, now I'm going to be serious about Jesus. Because if your heart isn't serious about Jesus and desire to follow Jesus and really be a follower, consumed by God's word and a passion for God's truth today, why would you later suddenly decide to do so? So you have to challenge your own heart right now, like to take God seriously today, because you're not going to have a chance later. Think about this analogy: is if you knew you had a big test coming up next week, and for a subject that you knew was going to be difficult, you might, if you're like me, you might procrastinate, but you also the whole time know that you're setting yourself up for a big problem. Like if you waited to the very last day to study, you know that you're not going to do well. You know that you're going to regret it. If you've been like me and you're like cramming an all-nighter or trying to get all your work done in the last second, I bet you have had a moment where you sit there and kick yourself and say, why did I do this to myself? Why did I wait to the last second? It wasn't worth it. My life would have been so much easier. I would have less stress. I'd be less upset if I had just taken care of this the first time. Do not find yourself spiritually in that place in a year, 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, because I guarantee you, either you're going to have sorrow in this life that you waited to get serious about God. You will not look back on waiting to get serious about God and be glad you waited. You will have sorrow in this life, and I don't want that for you. Or you will have sorrow for eternity, because it'll come too late, or it won't come at all. Do not give yourself reason to have sorrow. Right now, today, make a decision, as Joshua says, as for me and my house, we'll serve the Lord. You will never regret the decision to start right now being serious about God. But I guarantee you, every day that you wait to be serious about God will be something that will be of great sorrow and regret in your life. Jesus had people who said they wanted to follow him. There's a great passage in Luke chapter 9 where it talks about there's 3 different people who come to Jesus and say, hey, we want to follow you. And starting in verse 59, we get these 2 specific stories where one says, hey, I want to follow you, but first I need to go bury my father. And then the second person says, hey, I want to follow you, but let me go tell my family goodbye. And Jesus says to both of these people separately, he says, you are not followers of me. You will not have anything of me. And it sounds really harsh, but what Jesus is getting to is, if there's anything that you are willing to put on pause to follow Jesus until you've had a chance to sow your wild oats, go do your own thing, even if it's a good thing, in a vacuum, it's not a bad thing. If there's anything at all in your life that you say, I won't follow Jesus until I've taken care of this, Jesus says, you have a heart that you will never follow me. You will never have a part of the kingdom. I want that conviction to sit with you. There is no waiting to follow Jesus. Saying that you're going to wait to follow Jesus and get serious about your faith in Jesus Christ is an indication that you don't truly have faith in Jesus Christ. It's not that just you're not being a good Christian today, that you're not a Christian at all. Today is the day you make a decision to no longer wait and to get serious about who God is in your life. Because every day that you wait will be a day that you will look back with great sorrow. So I hope that's an encouragement and challenge to you. If you want to ask more questions about that, please reach out to us, because we don't want you to have sorrow in this life or the next. Follow Jesus today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Hope that helps.